Hi, this is Mark from Dragonforce.
And this is Herman, and you are on Linea Rock.
Welcome Dragonforce to Italy. Welcome to Linea Rock. I'm Barbara, and we're in Milan, and we're ready to present your new record, which is coming out on 15th of April. So the title is The Power Within, and seems it marks a very, very important moment in your career. 12 years that you're a band, 3 years after Ultra Beatdown, a new lineup, a newborn feeling. This album sounds exciting, and you sound excited in it. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the way we made this album really kind of makes it sound fresh and lots of energy, and the song really kind of shine through, and the sound the sound of the band sounds really alive, I think. Yeah.
And the title itself sounds like a menace, in a sense, the power within. So you're ready to go. I mean, Dragonforce are stronger than ever. That's the message.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great. It sounds also more various than the previous records. Are you concerned that maybe the diehard fans is gonna be shocked by that? Do you care? In a sense?
I think the fans of like Dragonforce, I think from what I've gathered, they're going to really welcome the addition of different styles we do now, added out on the kind of dynamics of the album.
Yeah.
Of course, the classic Dragonforce speed, melodic, fast, solo, long, 7-minute songs, you're going to find that on the album. But we also have shorter songs and some even slower mid-tempo songs. And of course, if it's Dragonforce album, we have to push it to limit, so we even have faster songs than we ever done before.
Okay. The internet has always been an essential tool for Dragonforce. Way before actually it became so huge media for everybody. I remember when Metallica and Kiss were against it because of not legal download and so on. You were already using it as an important vehicle for your band, and you also found Mark through the internet. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So how can you explain this special connection that you have with the fans through the internet?
Yeah, I mean, I think from Italy, for example, we had some very good support from heavy metal fans before we made the first album, just by hearing the songs through the internet back then on mp3.com. We had lots of support then, and we still meet fans these days that said, I know you guys from mp3.com with the Value of a Damn demo. So we use it as a great way to be able to spread the music. Heavy metal back then I think was even smaller than now. And Mark, of course, he sent us a video through the internet to audition for the singing position.
Yeah, I have the internet to thank for the fact that I'm in the band, because obviously I did YouTube auditions and stuff like that, and basically the internet's made it possible for Herman and Dragonforce to search for a new singer, which obviously opens many doors for anyone to try, basically.
And how hard was to find Mark for you?
It was a long process. I mean, we had the whole world to search from, and we had lots of great singers, from different countries. Mark went through a very long process of, started off sending a video, but then he had to send us more video because I was sending more songs to audition and send video off. And then later on we jammed together, went down to the pub, to chat together, rehearse, record new demos. So I had to even send him demo of the new songs to learn.
Yeah, I'd sung I think 2 songs off the new album before I was even in the band, just demoing them to make sure that my voice would fit. So yeah, these guys tested me pretty hard.
Dragonforce always defined themselves to be the perfect match of 6 strong and very distinctive characters. Mark, so your voice matches perfectly the Dragonforce style, with your versatility and your extension. How difficult has been for you to blend with the band? I mean, since they're very united and they've been together a long time.
To be honest with you, it's been quite easy in that sense, because everyone, I think, has embraced the fact that I'm the new guy, and everyone's kind of given me support to make because I've gone from being completely unprofessional to suddenly being a very professional band.
Yeah.
So Herman, Sam, Fred, everybody's come in to try and give me advice and stuff, and it's been quite easy to fit in, to be honest. I mean, musically, it took a bit of rehearsal and stuff, and recording took a little while, but yeah, it's been. They've made it easy for me in that sense, not in the musical sense.
Okay. And which is your role besides singing? I mean, these guys do everything from designing T-shirts to direct videos. So, do you have already another role in the band besides singing?
Well, the thing is, I've only been in the band for a short amount of time, so I've had enough on my plate to learn the singing, learn the songs, everything like that. So, but I mean, they used me for lyrics when there was, just new ideas and stuff. And I've just been and even deciding the album cover, we were all sat around together going through stuff. So I think they kind of use everybody's skills to an extent, and hopefully in the future even more.
And for you, Herman, why Mark? I mean, why you decided, you were united even in that decision? Everybody liked him in the very first minute. Was that like this?
Well, of course, Mark singing. You have to be able to sing. Excuse me. You have to be able to sing, and Marcus has very wide range on the tone, from really high notes to low notes with lots of feeling. You can hear it on the acoustic song and Seasons, and obviously the higher songs like even the beginning of Holding On, where you've got some really high scream, kind of old classic metal. Reminded me a bit of like the old kind of hot Rob Halford stuff.
Yeah.
All the way to like the mid range. So it's really cool, but. Of course, Mark, I don't think any singer would have problem integrating into Dragonforce straight away. And Mark is a really fast learner, and we're able to work with him very easily. So, work with him on his voice, on his performance, all together. So, make sure Mark, get the help, to kind of get up to speed with the band. And he's been very, improving very quickly in so many areas that, I think fans that heard this original audition demo on the internet, when they hear the album, they're gonna go, oh my god, this guy's incredible, incredible singer.
Sure. And concerning the live album Twilight Dementia, was that a trick in a sense to take time, or you really felt the need to close a chapter for the band?
It wasn't planned to be that way.
Okay.
To be honest, we were recording it while, we were planning it while Zippy was still in the band, we were touring. So it was just like a live album we thought we'd get out, and we make sure it's a live album so it's not like overdubbed and sounds like a studio album. Yeah.
But what that album mean to you?
I guess it's just to show something, to do it something different, in a different way. I don't really know what to say on that one. All I have to say is it sounds live.
Okay, so the new album, The Power Within, you recorded between London, France, and California. Why this choice, and how hard was to combine all these different locations?
I think it was good for inspiration, to clear our mind, because we were saying that we have recorded every single album in my house in London, every single from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
So this time we went down to Fréjus, which is in the south of France, for a month or so, which actually we did the most work there because we have no friends. We can't go out to a bar, can't meet any friends, no concert to go to, very quiet. And in California, actually, we started off there in San Diego, and I remember I finished my last solo in Los Angeles at the end of the recording. Yeah,
the very last thing.
Yeah, the last thing. Yeah, so I was still working through it. December, just a few months ago.
And concerning the song Cry Thunder, which is, I guess, one of the songs you were mentioning right before, that's a clear example of how this band is also, exploring new territories. How, that song came about, and was that an inspiration by Mark, or since he's new in the band and the song has a new feeling, or it was like a band composition?
Was that the first song you sang on the demo?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the first song he started singing on the demo, but I think the singing back then, compared to singing on the album, in terms of attack, is totally different, right?
Yeah. I think this was part of my audition, was actually to do Cry Thunder, so that song's actually evolved quite a lot since the beginning, because obviously when I first started out, that was my first ever recording, so but but the truth is the song was written before I was in the band, obviously.
Alright.
So it wasn't an influence from me. Everything was planned out. So it's just a case of turning up and singing the songs, adapting things here and there if they sound better with my voice, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference on this song, apart from the music style, I would say the vocals, the approach of the vocals, is a lot of attack on it, like the tyrant will kneel, and all that kind of like feeling onto the vocals that we haven't had on the album, on previous albums before.
And on the other hand, the song Heart of the Storm reconnects with the spirit of the very early days of Dragonforce. What do you think about that? Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say Heart of the Storm, excuse my nose a bit blocked. Heart of the Storm is definitely a classic Dragonforce song in that kind of, I guess Fury of the Storm, kind of 6-7 minutes fast song. So fans don't need to worry that we have, slowed down, or anything like that.
Is that a brand new song as well, or maybe it's a song that came from?
It's a brand new
old
song.
demos. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and the
all songs are new.
Yeah, and the bonus track of it, you can see that we had 2 different choruses and how the song changed later on.
Yeah.
You always had total control organizing your career. You tried actually to maintain control during the years. Is that a plus, something that you would suggest to new bands to do?
I really think, it's something I think it will be pretty much essential in the years to come. Dragonforce, we write our own songs, produce ourselves. We always have someone in the band that good at different skills, from doing the merchandise to the computer. We even run our own mail server, if you really want to know. So our phone can synchronize to the computers and laptops and everything.
That's how cool we are, by the way.
That's how cool we are. It's actually very cool if you're nerdy like me. And I think it's important to understand the music business and things like that. Not just to be in your little zone of playing the instrument. For example, if you're a guitar player, just thinking about your guitar. Think about production. Everything, how you look at the show, and from the point of view of the audience as well.
And you have also your own record label now, Electric Generation Recordings. That helps, in a sense, again, to maintain control. And why this idea to have your own label? And will you also produce other bands, or is it just for yourself?
Because then we can release the album, we can make sure the album get released on time in the right places, and get the right promotion deserved, and the fans can get hold of it. And then we can, with all that things happening, the right promotion that we can get everything out there, we can tour the countries, and fans can come and see the show. Everything can't link to one to each other. If you can't get the album out on time, people don't know about it. You can't go and do a tour and people won't know about the shows. So everything is great, I think, to be able to get the fans to hear the Dragonforce music in the end. And regarding signing other bands, I mean, we haven't actually thought about it until the other day. And even funnier, the other day our manager said, "Oh, this band is better off on our record label than on this label, because we would have done way more work on it. Because we know how the whole kind of industry work pretty well."
And the changing between Sanctuary to Roadrunner, why this choice? And was that done on a quiet base or?
Oh, well, the album is still out on Roadrunner in America, and we're really happy with them. They're really cool people, so we've got no worries here. We only changed it in Europe here for our own label, and that deal was done. It started off from an email. Roadrunner, a guy called Mike Gidder, A&R, just wrote me an email through the website. It was that simple to start the deal rolling.
Okay. On backing vocals, you called as a special guest Emily Ovenden. How this collaboration started? Why her? How was the idea? How did the idea come?
Because Mark's voice is so different from Zippy's voice, our previous singer. We thought we'd approach not just the lead vocals differently, but also the backing vocals, and how it will, the backing vocals, the choir will work with the lead vocals and its harmonies and everything. And Emily, who played for Pythia, which is kind of symphonic female vocals band. I know her for a few years, you know, because she's friends with someone I know. So I thought we try out, see how her vocals fit in with the choir that we created, and she did really an amazing job with the layering of the music on the choir. So very cool. So we want to thank her for that.
You are very well known for your guitar skills and light-speed guitar work. How did you shape this strong and particular side in the very beginning? I mean, you know, that sounds like an extreme sublimation of power metal, but how did the idea came from, and did you work together? I mean, both guitarists to it, or?
I think it's years of evolution of practicing, learning, and then playing in the band with, you know, Sam, and, you know, working together. So if you listen to the first album and the last album or the one before, you can hear every little step of changes, how we actually got better.
Yeah.
You know, so that's good news. We got better, just like the album generally now overall. I think it's got better in certain sense too.
Does that bother you, of being, you know, always well known for that guitar skills? Is that like a mark that now it's annoying in a sense, or?
Well, I know it's better to be known to be good than bad, right?
Sure. Okay, so as you may know, playing Guitar Hero for real guitar players is not so easy, and it's a very different world. Were you ever able to actually play the complete version of Through the Fire and Flames on Guitar Hero 3, which is actually a nightmare, it's very difficult, and or Fury of the Storm on Guitar Hero 6, which is universally considered the hardest songs of any of those games? Did you ever try, and were you involved in the making of those songs for the game?
I mean, I've got the game, so, you know, from the company. You know, I finished the third one actually, and funny enough, I actually got the first one on the PlayStation 2, which I actually played before. That was way before the whole explosion happened. I mean, those guys from Guitar Hero got in touch with us. You know, they loved the band, and, you know, and they said a lot of fans requested back then to be on the game. That's why it all happened. And I was actually at the game. Before the game came out, I was at the game studio where they created the game, Red Octane, which is near Los Angeles.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you feel a guitar hero yourself?
I don't know. It depends who's looking at it. You know, we're just normal dudes. We just do our best.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which is next in the cans for Dragonforce? Are you planning a tour, Europe first or America? What's in the plans?
We start the world tour in April.
Okay.
We do one show in England, and then we start in America. So we will go basically everywhere, as Dragonforce always do, and we do a full headline tour of Europe starting in October.
Okay, so thanks guys for your time, and hope to have you soon back to Italy playing live, which is the best always.
Thank you.
Thanks guys.